This is your weekly trip to paradise, Louisiana style, with Gary Risponi. Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, IMCO, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome to Paradise, Louisiana. Welcome, Superior Bait and Tackle. Here on Sigan Lane, and I'm going to tell you what, I'm getting ready to talk to them. You know, everybody's having trouble getting stuff from out the country or anywhere, fishing equipment. I guess they're no different. But everybody's been having a little trouble getting out, but I need to talk to them and see if they're having trouble. They stock full. They don't look like they need anything. We lost 3 more legends this past week in Louisiana politics and Louisiana service. First, we lose Governor Buddy Roma. He made a lot of changes. We lost Chancellor Warden. Chancellor Warden did a lot of changes, a lot of stuff at LSU. He was very popular when he was there. I know his son Scott and Warden is a doctor, the same way with my doctor, so got him. And then we're going to do a little testament at the end of the show. Mr. Larry Dryron. Y'all know Mr. Larry Dryron, Dryron's Landing. His stuff was in public service. He served in politics, all the civic groups you can think of. We had high water, we had floods, but we still got a fishing report. It's not extensive. The ones that didn't have flood problems or landings were underwater, the wind blew constantly. That southeast wind, it was still blowing when I woke up this morning. This wind is blowing and blowing. It should die down. I hope so. Some of the landings down there where I live in Slidell are clearing it up. We'll talk more about them. I got a fishing report and some news. And I'm going to surprise you where we're going this week. So stay tuned. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
Okay, Brett, safety and car insurance.
Never scored a safety. That's defense. But go on, please.
Yeah, defensive. That's exactly how you should drive.
There is no such thing as a defensive drive. Offense makes the drive.
Oh, I mean when you're on the road.
But it doesn't matter, home or away.
Okay, clearly I'm striking out here.
That's baseball.
Get great auto rates from Farm Bureau Insurance. Call your agent today.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Last week, I finally got to make a trip to the Trussels. I went with Perry Baez. I was supposed to have Lynn Rollins there, but we had Jeff Brenner, executive producer with CST. Loves to fish, good fisherman. He wound up catching most of the fish. We didn't have a whole lot. We might have caught 15 or 20, but we kept about 10 fish between sheephead, but most of them were trout, and they were fair trout. But must have been, I counted 50-something boats just around us right there where we were fishing around mile marker 73, 74. And must have been a lot of people who knew that fish had been coming from there. This past week now, with all the wind and everything, I didn't get any reports at all from the trestle. And a lot of the landings were underwater, but This is a trip we made. Perry worked it real good. We caught some on plastic, but most of them were on sliding cork, a Carolina rig, live shrimp. Here we go. The Trussel with Jeff Brenner and Perry Barrat. Welcome to Paradise, Louisiana. Been waiting on this a long time. I know at least a month and a half we've been trying to get together. We got one part of it missing today. Lynn Rollins had to do the championship game today at the South End Conference, I understand, softball. So, and he was the one who wanted to set this up. Jeff Brenner, the executive producer from CST. We've been on CST 19 years now, so Jeff, you've been a lot of help and a lot of guidance, and we appreciate it. So, especially with this pandemic, y'all come through and did all the shows. Y'all did a lot to help us, and so this is an appreciation trip to you. This young man here been doing his own thing now 7 or 8 years, but he's got what they call Down South Fishing Adventures. He got it on the internet, and he does a lot. He loans us a lot of footage. He's undid about 4 shows with us. I can't thank you enough with all your work and everything to get us out. This is going to be a busy day. Stay tuned. We're getting ready to leave this beautiful place, and we're headed out to the marina and get some shrimp just to make sure, but he's been catching them on plastic. So let's get started. You ready, Jeff?
Let's go.
All right. You waited long enough. Huh?
Yeah.
Not exactly what we're looking for. He might keep though. He might keep. Let me go ahead and measure him out.
I told you a nibbler. Oh, jeez. They're good trout. Look at the difference. Look at it, Jeff. Very good. Anywhere from 7 ounces to 7 pounds. More like 7 ounces.
What's going on, guys? Perry Barris here with Down South Fishing Adventures TV. We're on Paradise, Louisiana again. Today I'm fishing with a 3/8 jig head, makeshift shad Creole, shrimp Creole. They're catching them on the bridges, but they seem like they want live shrimp, so they're kind of expensive. But if you really want to catch some trout, sheephead, even catfish like we've been catching, you'll catch it with live shrimp. I caught one so far, one trout on artificial, and I had a captain tell me he caught 2 earlier. So he didn't catch any more, so he went straight back to the point, and we got him some live shrimp. So tide's a little slack, so we're waiting for it to pick up. A lot of boats here on Lake Pontchartrain. It's the boat show, guys. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all watching Paradise, Louisiana.
You can look. You know, it reminds me of changing sides, looking at these brakes. But there's 50 or so boats right on the other side of here. But look here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see about 10 right here. They change sides as the tide moves. Different. And the wind is changing. You see how they are. They're right here. Let that wind bring it to the bridge. Perry's doing the same thing right now. We're going to try this side. And every now and then you see a fire break. That's a fire break. A lot of times that rocks fall off. Look, fish on. Right here on camera is the cameraman supreme. Man, I'm gonna tell you, this man here has been with the last few years and always bails me out. He's got so many jobs going on. I'm talking about Kurt Jacobs with Big Easy Media. He's also got Hooked Up TV. It's Facebook and oh, must have a fish. But he, in his hookup TV, it's on YouTube and everything. But he's giving a fishing report. He's got some of the better captains, from Island Marina and other areas, and he does it. First time I saw it, he's been doing it for a few months now. It's very popular, and I'm talking about what's happening right now. So check it out. It's Hooked Up TV. It is put on by Mr. Kirk Jacobs, who's with us, and I keep hitting having hits. Kirk, that's your plug. There ain't no fish. Or is it? Or is it? No. No. What I got? I got the bottom? What I got? What? What? What I got? I got the bottom? No, look at that. That's what we don't want. That's what we don't want. Where's that flipper? Where you at, Captain?
Another nice.
Got a little one.
That fish is half the size of that bait. Look at that. Got another one right there.
Back here. Fish on.
Tiny.
Call that cayenne pepper right
You
there.
can get the fish if you had a hand.
It's the slip cord.
Oh, that's a cool fish. Just camera?
I'm rolling.
Oh. Yeah. This is on a slip cord with ball. Yeah. That's not figure.
Oh, look drunk.
I don't even think he's big as this.
No. Ah, it's so drunk.
That's a baby drum. He got to be 16. Huh?
Yeah, he's 16.
Baby girl.
Puppy drum. Dead shrimp. Dead shrimp. Look. Dead shrimp. Come back and got it twice. You believe that? Look. Dead shrimp. That's when it come in handy, that mitt and the pliers handy. Look, dead shrimp, slip caught. First time I ever fished it. Rest his soul, Mr. Hoover. Dudley fishing it now.
I've been asking him to change the oil for months now, and he never did. So I finally just went to Benny's. They even washed my car for free. Uh-huh. And you know what? It was amazing. Yeah, I left Benny's and got home before Rob even knew I was gone.
Benny? Who the heck is Benny?
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
As members of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy cooperative.
Welcome to Paradise, Louisiana. Quick and short fishing report, and I do have some reports, but most of it came from Sunday. Most of the reports I got are coming from Slidell. You know, believe it. All the high water was in the landing at Island Marina up to the road at my camp. I got to be sure and send Chris. My neighbor shot, and it was about 5 foot from the road at Highway 433. A lot of water all over the subdivisions, and that southeast wind was the biggest cause. They had a lot of rain, the rivers are swollen, but it's holding those rivers up. You see what it's doing right now to the Amite River and Manchac, all the rivers down below right now. That wind is not letting them drain. At my house, there's no water in Beaver Bayou. The rivers are way down. All the water outside in Comet is down, but down south, people are still having trouble. So let's say a little prayer. For as fishing report, last week, at the last minute, I didn't get to tell you, but Lake Verret was crazy hot. With Sac-A-Lait down in Amelia with the brim, you saw John Bernard, them showed you those pictures, them dead-end canals. The brim run is on. Not only the brim, the big blue ears, we call them, but the chinkapin, the brim run is on right now. Chinkapin, they catch them on everything, but you know, night crawlers is still one of the best. I don't know if anybody got grass shrimp, but that's another one good. We used to fish False River when they had all them shell bottoms. We fish them with a drop shot. You know, that we're trying to do it. And that's the way we used to do it, with a little piece of grass shrimp, and we catch those big chinkapin. So, but Lake Verret right now, I talked to some people in here, Sac-A-Lait, not plentiful, but they big. Whenever they're catching Sac-A-Lait, when they're doing it. Now, saying that, you got to check before that. A lot of them places underwater. You saw on the news with Pigeon, Sorrel, all these places underwater. Down in the marsh, I don't know, but I hear they're clearing up. Larry and I, when Larry and I talked, corresponding, we was talking more about his daddy. I forgot to ask him about his landing, but you got a lot of rodeos are coming up, so you need to check. And if you want the spillway start falling, the river starts falling, Mississippi River, Chafalaya, be sure you contact them. Also in freshwater, up north, the Red River is rising, the flood stage. I didn't get any calls from Rato, from the slab hunters, and didn't get any reports. I didn't get any reports from Toledo Bend. So I'll work on it this week, and next week we should have a report. Island Marina, you know, besides the high water, the water's gone. The landing is open. They got live shrimp, pretty live shrimp, and the rest of the people. The good news about all this water, southeast wind, it's pushing shrimp, it's pushing saltwater. There's speckled trout going to stay at the bridges and at the trussel. So you just think about it. Once it settles down, the wind settles down, you're going to have a lot of people to catch fish. So stay tuned, and we'll be in the next couple of weeks. But Miss Angie and them, in fact, it started Sunday. The captains started coming in, Clint, the Amos and them, they were all coming in. By the way, say a little prayer. Mike Brantley's been having a little infection. He had that operation, but he's having a little blood problem. And he's running a lot of tests. He was feeling a little bit better when I talked to him yesterday. So the thing, Mike was catching fish. Before he got sick, he was killing the fish. Now, Leeville area. I talked to George Spivey. George and his wife and his daughter this morning, the wind has been the culprit. The wind blowing constantly every day. I'm talking about 30, sometimes 40 miles an hour. So they ain't even catching ain't be able to get out and fish. When he went out in the back and he said he caught 15 one day and just in a little while, but he told me to stay tuned. He'll be, with all the rodeos and something coming up, he's gonna be heading back out to Timberlair. Now, let me look at this, anything else fishing I got. That's really the only big reports I got. I didn't get anything from Delacroix or all them people. Them people are still fighting high water and what they call coastal flooding. So, and that's it. Now, I told you at Grand Isle, they had some high tides, but they really didn't have a lot of flooding in the different places. Okay, so to remember that. And Leeville. Now, that's going to be the fishing report. I'm going to give you a little news right now, so when we come back, I can say goodbye to some friends. Now, we got, definitely, you got the store opening up. The biggest thing is going right now, the biggest tournament in the South, you know what I'm talking about. The store right now is open. The weekend Red Snapper, recreational Red Snapper, it opens up on the 28th. Then you got, next week, you got the Catholic High Rodeo, and then the following week, the first weekend, and then we got the Swole Fest. Do not forget them, and to go on their website, you can find it. The Lafayette Kayak Fishing Club, they're having a Yellowmouth Smackout at Leeville. Now, that's on June the 6th. That's all the news I have, really, the report I want to tell you this week. In a week or so, I'm going to bring Larry Reynolds on. We're going to talk about the upcoming waterfowl hunting season. So when we come back, we're going to say goodbye to some friends.
My name's James Loop, and I won the 2020 Chevy 1500. It was first day at roughly 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening. Thank you, Super Chevy dealers, for my 2020 Silverado.
I've been asking him to change the oil for months now, and he never did. So I finally just went to Benny's. They even washed my car for free. Uh-huh. And you know what? It was amazing. Yeah, I left Benny's and got home before Rob even knew I was gone.
Benny? Who the heck is Benny?
Okay, Brett, safety and car insurance.
Never scored a safety. That's defense. But go on, please.
Yeah, defensive. That's exactly how you should drive.
There is no such thing as a defensive drive. Offense makes the drive.
Oh, I mean when you're on the road.
But it doesn't matter, home or away.
Okay, clearly I'm striking out here.
That's baseball.
Get great auto rates from Farm Bureau Insurance. Call your agent today.
Like I said before, we lost some Louisiana legends. I'm talking about not only they were leader as in political office or running universities and they're involved in them. Buddy Roma, you can remember back then, he let them run the wildlife and fisheries like he wanted. He didn't step in unless he was good. He had some great secretaries of wildlife and fisheries during this time, but his big influence was just in business. He running everything like a business. He was a great businessman, and he definitely wasn't an enemy to the outdoors. Now, outdoor people. Now, then you get the Chancellor Wharton. He was there when he had so much going on in LSU, and like you said, he was just a person, a people person. He had a lot to do with education. He's a people person. He stayed that way. Big LSU fan. And by the way, while we're talking about LSU, I forgot to mention, you see I got my purple on today. LSU baseball is going to the SEC tournament and with a chance to maybe go to the regionals. You got the girls are going to the super regional in softball. By the way, I'm going to give a shout out to the UL softball team because I'm getting tired of putting them in the same region, LSU and them and these schools. I know they try to do it because of the travel and different stuff, but they're a great ball team on their own. They made us sweat that last week, last day, Sunday. So congratulations to them to even making it that far. Southern University. You know, people know I'm part of Jaguar Nation with all them coaches. Coach Katie was there for years, and all these coaches, I just love them to death and what they do for Baton Rouge and Louisiana. But Southern, they put a big upset, and they going to the regional. So congratulations, y'all, my LSU team. Now, we're talking about them, but this one we want to dedicate this to Mr. Larry Drywall. This is a man that started working, and he's 14 years old. He was born in Patterson, but he stayed in St. Mary's Parish and all the way down in that area from Stephenville. You knew about him. You know, not only was he a businessman and a developer, he started a construction company when he was so young, but he became a store manager of people he worked for when he was 16 years old. If you ever met him, he was a quiet guy. You talk to him, but he did so much civic work. He did so many people favors. He made sure when the floods were going on. He came up with great ideas. When he got a construction company, most of his projects were development or building bridges and doing things that benefited the South Louisiana. I'm gonna say this about him. I've come close to his son Larry. They'll always, tell how many tournaments we done did over our 18, 19 years that we've been doing the show down at Drywall's Landing. What makes that landing so special is because when the water's right, you can fish either side. You can even run south of 90. We did that 25 years ago when I was fishing tournaments. So it just, Mr. Larry, you're gonna be missed. Number one is he had many civic awards. He worked very hard right there with his family. He taught his family the same thing, not to be scared of work. They told him he was almost like St. Joseph. St. Joseph was the patron saint of workers and the patron saint of families. That's what he was. He was a patriarch that you can't believe how many people respect and love Mr. Larry Drywall. There's a shout out to his kids and grandkids, and our condolences to his wife, who was right by his side. So, Mr. Larry, may God have a place for you to rest over there, and all your kids and them, keep his legacy up. What a great legacy. God bless Louisiana. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, IMCO, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.